Hello, everybody. My name is Earl Knighten.
And I am Bernetta Knighten.
We are with the Knighten Group. And today we're going live. This is Tampa Florida Insider. This is a channel. And today we're going live about things to do around Tampa.
Absolutely. And I am so grateful and happy to be here to talk about Tampa. I've personally been living in Tampa now for this is my 9th year, and I'm still learning new things about Tampa.
And I was born and raised in Tampa. Being born and raised in Tampa my whole life, I hadn't lived here my whole life, but being raised in Tampa at the actual Tampa General Hospital. How many of you ever watched the soap opera Tampa General Hospital?
I watched General Hospital.
General Hospital. All right, well, that is the actual hospital where that soap opera came from.
For real?
Yes, babe.
I really didn't know that.
So being born and raised here, left for a little while, came back, was able to experience all the growth, all the great things Tampa has to offer. Again, we're Earl Knighten with the Knighten Group. If you have any questions about Tampa, please put them in the chat. We'd like to learn more about what we do, what's going on in Tampa. Please put it in the chat as well, and we're going to dive right into this.
Okay. First, we're going to talk about some things that I love about Tampa, and you can chime in. Okay. One of the things being that I'm not from Tampa that I really like is the water. I'm from Chicago, so we had Lake Michigan, but growing up, we went to the beach, and I was too young to enjoy the water. But now that I'm an adult, I live in a city that has water that you can do so much on the water. You can rent a yacht and go on the water. You can rent a boat with your friends, a little drink boat on the water. You can do a water taxi and they'll tour you around the whole Tampa area. You could just go eat on the water, and you can't do that in every city. So that's one of my favorite things about Tampa is that you can do so much on the water.
Well, my favorite thing about Tampa is the sun. I know that's not a thing to do, but I will tell you, though, the next thing is being raised here, growing up here. One of the most funnest life experiences that we've had growing up was going to Busch Gardens and Adventure Island. And you say, why do I say them both? Because they're literally almost right across the street from each other, right? So
tell them what Busch Gardens and Adventure. They might not know what that is.
Okay, so in which it has evolved definitely over time. Mm-hmm. So Busch Gardens is a amusement park. So you have the roller coaster side, you have the animal side, and you have a slight water side where they have water sprinklers and all the things like that for kids on a hot, sunny day.
Can I say, if you don't live in Tampa, but you've heard of Six Flags, this is like Six Flags, and it's a mix between the zoo and a Six Flags. So you got an amusement park and you got animals.
But a lot more rides than Six Flags, right? A lot more adventurous rides than Six Flags as well, with some theme to go around it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I will say about Busch Gardens. And then also we have Adventure Island. So when it's time to cool off, it's hot outside. It's a full water park with high slides and everything else, food, all the great things. What I loved about Adventure Island was the most is that back in the day, they used to have something called Midnight Madness. That means the park didn't open up to around 10 o'clock at night. And from about 10 to 1, man, we were just out there having fun, DJs, the music, the whole thing. It was just on fire.
So Adventure Island is a water park, which you didn't say. And as for me, because I am a mature age, I'm kind of over roller coasters. So if I could pick between the two, I'd rather go to Adventure Island because even though they got rides, they got some really powerful water slides, but they got that lazy river. Who out there likes that lazy river? But it's a great family place water park, and so is Busch Gardens. We go to both throughout the year. So what's next? I said my favorite. You said your favorite.
Right. So what are some other things, being that you're not from here, and we do have a lot of visitors, a lot of people that move to Tampa, and they always wonder, well, what is it to do here in Tampa? What is it to do in Tampa, Florida? So for one of your first experiences, your first time, what would you say besides what you said before? What would be some things that you like about Tampa?
And I was going right back to the water, but the river walk. One of the things that I like is the Tampa River Walk. It's a long 2.5-mile stretch along the bay, and they're actually extending that a couple more miles. You could just park your car, and then you can bike ride, you can walk, you can jog. People walk their dogs, and there are restaurants along the way. Along the Riverwalk, there's a children's museum, which is one of the first museums. I took my children here when we moved. Along there is restaurants. One thing about Tampa is it's a lot of places to eat. You don't never have to go to the same place twice. There's lots of different cultures, so you can try different restaurants. So that's one of my favorite things is the Riverwalk, and then restaurants because I like to eat.
And so as we continue to move on, that was one of our favorite spots. Again, for me, growing up, being in Tampa, There were so many different things that we did as kids, and even as growing up, and now being back in Tampa. One of the things that I like to go to kind of correspond or correlate with would be Sparkman's Wharf. It's one of the newer development areas. It's not too far from Ybor City. It features our trolley, which is no cost to you to ride around. And you basically take it from the convention center all the way to Ybor City. So if you're here for a sports night, if you're just here just to visit, or you're here just for a cruise, and I'm sure she's going to talk to you because she loves cruises.
Oh, I forgot about the cruise.
Is that having that experience is great. And down in Sparkman Woods, what do you get down there, right? So you have the dinner boats, you have containers, you have a bowling alley, you have dessert treats, you have Publix down in that area. So it's so much stuff to do. They have live music from time to time as well.
You are talking so fast. Wait, because they gonna have to rewind this. When you said the trolley, let's just go back for a second. The trolley is free, and it's an historic part of downtown Tampa, Ybor City, and it has 14 stops. You can jump on and jump off, and each stop is a part of historic Tampa. So that's one thing when people do come, I like to take them on a trolley because for one, it's free. And then you are seeing historic Tampa, like he said. And then he talked about a dinner boat. So a dinner boat like is Starship where you can pay and everything is included, appetizer, meal, and it's a 2-hour ride along the Tampa River. So I didn't want to forget that when you were talking about that. Just giving a little more detail.
Oh, that is great. That's the beauty of having someone that's so beautiful, but also so intelligent and smart. What else do you like about Tampa?
Okay.
Or some of the things to go and place to do?
The number one thing I like about Tampa, well, it's not the number. I already told y'all the number one, but top 5 is that you can cruise out of Tampa. Now, we have always liked to cruise. Our honeymoon was my first cruise, and we lived in Atlanta when we got married, so we had to fly to Miami. But now that we live in Tampa, you can actually cruise right out of Tampa, and the port is literally maybe a 17 to 20-minute drive from our house. We don't have to get on the highway, drive right up to the boat and park and get on there. Royal Caribbean leaves from here, Carnival. Now they got the new Margaritaville. I think Norwegian leaves from Tampa. So living in the city, if you want to take your family on vacation, one thing we won't have to worry about is transportation to the boat. And so I like that. And there's like at least 4 or 5 different boats that leave from Tampa. So that is one big thing because we like to cruise. And we are a family of 5. So that's a big deal.
Hey, again, before I go any further, I do want to just remind you, you can leave any comments, any questions about Tampa in the chat. We'd love to answer those for you, as well as we welcome you to Tampa Florida Insider, where you get all the great information, all the need-to-know things straight out of Tampa, from a Tampa native, a Chicago native. So you get the best of both worlds. You're getting somebody from up north that just moved down south, but you're also getting somebody from the south that's still living in the south.
That's a good perspective because you get the, like say, the veteran Tampa insider that was born and raised here, and then you get a newbie to Tampa that's just like getting my eyes open to the city. And I do like it. It took me a while, because I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. But 9 years in, like I said, I'm still exploring, and that's what I love about the city, that it's still so much to explore. Tampa's super big, bigger than I thought, and so yeah.
And I will tell you, kind of piggyback on what she just said, is that her first couple years being here were, I don't want to say rough, but they were different, right? So I would tell people that you have to get adjusted to Tampa, right? So when you move here, it's a little slower place than a lot of places you may go. It's a lot more sun than a lot of other places you may go, and definitely more humid. So because of that, you do have to get used to it. But once you get used to it, one thing you always say all the time, you feel like you're always on vacation. The palm trees, no matter where you go visit, the things that you do, you get to experience the sun, the palm trees, the white sand. It is just beautiful. So
one thing I do say that all the time is that I feel like I'm living in a vacation, because whenever we moved here from Atlanta, and I lived in Atlanta for 17 years, that's where we met, got married, had our children. So Atlanta is one culture, and it's busy, busy, busy. We're on the go. We're on the red carpet. We're doing things. And then we moved here, and it's just like our life changed to a slower pace, but it was a welcome pace. It was that vacation pace. You drive down the street and you're seeing palm trees everywhere, and everything is beautiful. And it's like, this is my life every day. So yeah, you're right about that. Tampa is a beautiful place to live. And
I do want to just add on to what she just said as well. I know I keep adding on, right? Is that she said that Atlanta was so much to do. Well, I want to say that's why we're doing this video, because because Tampa actually has a lot of things to do too, and most people don't know about them. Another thing to do is, like you may see in a lot of big cities, is that we have comedy, right? We have a comedy club that's down there near Ybor City with some of the big names that come there.
Yeah, they had Martin Lawrence just came, Just Hilarious. It used to be called the Improv, but they've now changed the name, and it's actually in the heart of Ybor City. And they're now we got a casino. We ain't even talk, we don't go to the casino.
Come on, man, stay on the comedy right now. Stay on the comedy right now.
Well, I said the casino because that's where a lot of the headliners are going to, is to the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. So we got two major comedy clubs.
And you got one other place they can go to
for comedy.
Yes.
Okay.
Down there in Spotless Wharf, where the great Tampa Bay Lightning
reside. The armature, and I might be saying Amalie Arena. We got our own stadium, yo. Oh, we got some. Okay, we ain't even got into the sports thing yet. But yeah, Amalie Arena is like our huge stadium where the big concerts come. Yeah, so that's
that monster truck. You have all the great events and things that happen. They happen in the Amalie Arena. Again, that's close to Sparkles Sports. It's right near downtown Tampa, where you do have access to trolley, restaurants, hotels, the convention center. The Final Four was just here recently for the women's, where they host the championships. All the great things. Tampa has so much and so many different things to do, and that's just why we're here and we love about Tampa. But definitely comedy, in which there's some comedy shows that's happening even this month. It's the big one that's going to be at Amalie Arena around the middle of May.
We went there to see a comedy show at the Amalie Arena.
Yes, and just to give you some other things, quick things to do for this month anyway, for the month of May, we have concerts that's taking place at Baycare Center. We have some that's taking place at Raymond James Stadium. We also have taken place at Amalie Arena. So that's just some of the places and some of the things to do that may not be as mainstays, I would like to say. Is there anything else you'd like to bring up, talk about?
That you can walk a lot of places. You definitely need a car to live in Tampa because we don't have a metro. Like if you live in a big city like New York or Chicago with the train system. Yes, we have buses, but they don't get you all around how big Tampa is. And although we say Tampa, there's like a lot of cities outside of Tampa that we still might call Tampa. So you definitely need a car. But what I'm about to say with that is, although you might need a car, when you get to your destination, what I love, you can park and walk. Like you could just park and walk anywhere you want. When you want to walk and shop, if you want to walk downtown, it's a walking friendly city. And that is another thing that I love, that you can just go park and just sightsee so many different places.
Right. And then we also, a couple other things that we have not talked about yet. We have the Strass Theater here. If you like to go to shows, to watch people dance, to hear, what do you call plays and all that kind of fun stuff.
Musicals, all the things.
Yeah. So we also have at the Strass Center. We also have the Glazers Children's Museum. So there's multiple museums here as well. We have the Tampa History Center. And then what else do we have? We have Dinosaur World. We have Mosey, which is
Museum of Science
and Industry. So that's pretty cool as well. And the reason why it's pretty cool is that they actually have hands-on. So it's not just you can go there and just walk around. But kids love it because they have a lot of hands-on things to do, interactive things to do. And also they always host pretty much every year high school science projects, which are pretty elaborate, and they're fun to watch and see how these experiments take place.
And another thing that is cool about Tampa, which is a benefit to us, is that they have two major colleges right here in the city of Tampa, the University of South Florida and the University of Tampa. So in a lot of ways, it's a college town too. You know what I mean? So that's a good. Why did I say that? Because our son goes to one of those colleges, so we get to see him quite often. Right. But both of those universities are major in the community and major in the Tampa area, so that's a good thing if you're a parent.
Right, and we have lots of golf courses. Tiger Woods has been here. Nichols has been here. A lot of the great golf players have been here to golf. Tampa is a destination place to play golf as well as to fish. Right, so it's a lot of great fishing here as well. There's also a lot of places for dolphin sightseeing. So Florida, or should I say the Tampa area, has so much to offer and so many things to do that if you're just in town for the weekend, or you're in town for 10 days or 2 weeks, or you're here and you're thinking about moving here, definitely hit us up. We'll be glad to chat. We'll be glad to give you a list some sites and some things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stick in the chat as well once we finish this of some sites that you can go to, of some things to do around in and around Tampa, Florida. Again, this is Earl and Bonetta. We're with the Knighten Group. I'm so grateful, so happy to be able to share this great information with you. Until we tune again, any last words?
I guess we'll see you next time, but stay tuned. Put it on your notifications too, so when we go live, and if there's any other topics you want us to talk about concerning Tampa, definitely let us know. Or if you have another topic, we can still talk about those topics too. But if you have a question about Tampa, like you said, reach out. If you're moving to the area, reach out.
And we'll see you again next Wednesday between 12 and 1, around that time so far. We'd love to see you there. Meet us there. Talk to you again. Thank you. Everybody have a good afternoon.
Bye. Now we don't really know how to end it. I'm still here.
It is.